Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation. I'm very thrilled to be here because I know that Kyunghee is the top tier university, and I'm so honored to be here to join your webinar. And when I received the invitation, I was really, really honored. I feel like it's my great pleasure to share some of my past research with a group of very talented researchers led by Professor Koo, and also PhD students from different backgrounds, from different athletic cities, race backgrounds. So today I'm going to talk about something that might be interesting because I know that Professor Koo is the leading researcher in MIS, marketing information system in tourism and big data things. So I'm basically talking about several papers and several research I have been doing. We are using the big data, one type of big data, which is online user-generated data to do the behavior analysis. So that's another way. So today we are going to talk about how to use big data, online user-generated data to fulfill this research mission, the tourist behavior analysis using online user-generated data. Big data, right? So big data, I've been talking for decades now. Everyone knows big data, and every single day we have a lot of big data that can be directly or indirectly used by tourism researchers, right? For example, we have the search engine words like Google, like in China they have Baidu, right? So the searching engine words. We have social media like Twitter, like Instagram, like Facebook, like your social activity have been heavily kind of monitored, kind of archived in this different social media channels. And web traffic volume, right? So normally we are tracking the web traffic across different websites, like probably Kyunghee University websites. They have a software, they have a package to track where the website readers coming from, which page they are most interested in, or which search engine or which website direct them to the website of Kyunghee University. Views like the foreign tourists skipping Delhi over air quality fares. They are really putting their face mask on, especially in presence of air pollution. And the other one is for China, right? Air pollution takes tolls on China's tourism. That's if you are familiar with the Chinese international tourism. Over years, they have been suffering from the loss of revenue, largely, not largely, but at least partly because of the air pollution things. So what are the major conclusions? We summarize some major conclusion here. So first, it's a micro level study of the impact of air pollution because we can track tourist behavior and health consequence in tourism activities. Many times we just understand emotions, right? Your satisfaction, but we really don't have the evidence, the data to collect the health consequence, right? Whether you get a heart attack or breathe difficulty, so on and so forth. And we basically provide another comprehensive analytic framework of social media data. And later on I will show. And finally, we are using some interesting things. We are using deep learning, D-learning, as a supervised classifier to recognize any specific health issues related to the air pollution. So these are the major contribution of the paper. So very brief review of literature. All right. So the air pollution. What is air pollution? Air pollution. Yeah, I see someone raise their hands. So also in the literature review part, we briefly talk about the advances of big data analytics. Why big data is very important, right? So various type of big data available for tourism research. Like I highlighted something like GPS track of vehicles. Now many vehicles, I think definitely in South Korea, a lot of taxi they have GPS things, and this track the log of GPS archives provide a lot of information. And user-generated contents from social media things, of course, and credit card transaction. I'm not sure whether that is popular in South Korea or not. In some countries, a lot of research are using the credit card transaction data to understand tourist behavior, tourist movement. The cell phone roaming basically is a cell phone signal. They can track the user location where they are being traveling to. And finally, the search engine query and web traffic things, right? So with all this data available, there are more and more new advanced techniques available to analyze the data, like text analytics to understand the text information, sentiment analysis, topic mining on one hand. On the other hand, we have more sophisticated artificial intelligence methods, right? Artificial intelligence method, it's very sophisticated machine learning things that helps us to get insight from this big data. So now let's talk about data analysis. We collect the data from its Chinese counterpart of Twitter, right? So we got more than 30 million Weibo posts within 1 year, January 1st, 2013 to December 31st, 2013, within the core area of Beijing, and covers the following information: the posting time, posting location, posting content, self-reported residence of users, checking POI. POI represents points of interest, and posting device. And we separate residents and tourists by their self-reported residence and not posting more than 9 out of 12 months. We are using this very rough criteria to classify users into residents and tourists, but also there's some part of the users we can't determine whether they are residents and or tourists. And we clean up the data, ending up with more than 13 million social media posts, which is still a very significant number. So this is the location and percentage of tourists at each single location in Beijing based on our the social media data. And we have a video to show you how these things changing. I'm not sure whether you can see it or not. So we have GIS to develop this kind of visualization to better understand the pattern over years. Okay, great. So let me go ahead. So let's come back to the regression thing. As I said, this is just regression, right? So for example, I graph this scatter plot. The vertical line tells us the smog emissions percentage, like, how many people realize it's an air pollution day, right? And the horizontal one reflects the air pollution level, PM 2.5 concentration. We have two lines here. If you focus very specifically, we have a red line, which is the trend for tourists, and the blue line, which is trend for residents. Basically, as you can see, a higher pollution level, more mention of air pollutants, which is not surprise. But as you can see that the red line is steeper than the blue line, which means the tourists are actually more sensitive to air pollutants. Okay, the tourists are more sensitive than local residents. As you can see, it's a steeper line, which is very interesting. And likewise, the sentiment score is declining as the air pollution level increase, right? And basically, as you can see, the two lines are relatively like parallel to each other. Their sensitivity are the same in terms of emotion response. The less likely you will leave a very low score. So that basically, time can cure the pain. Time can cure the pain. So another interesting study is called From Zero to Hero. And we are starting a people when they start writing their first TripAdvisor review, and later on they write their number 50 or even number 100 reviews. And are they become more demanding, or are they becoming more tolerant? And we are finding this kind of things. In general, there is kind of threshold. At the beginning, they're getting more and more demanding, and after a certain point, if they get super experienced, they become more and more tolerant. So this is also very interesting thing. So I call this from zero. That means they know nothing, and a hero, that means they're becoming a very experienced reviewers to help others to get information from zero to hero. And yeah, and that is basically my yeah, that's good timing. That is basically my my presentation, and thank you very much for your patience and for your interest. Again, thank you very much for the invitation from Professor Khu, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions you have.